So not to get ahead of ourselves by technically 3 games, I do want to mention that like the new design they have for Scarecrow for the unreleased as of this recording Batman game, Arkham Knight, which we're going to talk about at nauseam at some other point in time, because I'm relatively angry about the Arkham Knight concept. But again, getting my head myself by 2 games at least, and that game hasn't been released yet even. They make Scarecrow super creepy, at least in the ad campaign for that one so far, which I give them a bunch of credit for, because he goes from kind of...
Charlie, can you give us some detail on what we're looking at here?
I'm not sure, really. I think it's just Jonathan Crant's laboratory, as the game just told me.
Creepy things.
Yeah. Sorry, why do you ask?
I really love the weird details that they do here.
Oh, no, they are great. So what's over here? Aside from a room I don't appear to be doing anything in. Alright, how do I get this thing up? Where do I go?
Now, the interesting thing about this is that one of the time-worn traditions of comic shop fun is if blank faced blank in a fight, what would happen? This begs the question, if Scarecrow fought Killer Croc, what would happen?
I'm voting Killer Croc wins that one. We've covered my kind of strange love for Killer Croc earlier. I'm generally of the opinion that the only reason Killer Croc actually goes, like, Killer Croc, again, I mentioned that Solomon Grundy occasionally has to be taken out by Superman. Killer Croc and Superman occasionally throw down, depending on what version you're looking at.
Yeah, you tend to want the problem with these guys that have a lot of endurance. No.
How do I get that up? I had to go to another room to do that, but apparently not.
Well, because the thing about Crane, as a character, is that he's a little sneak. He's a sneaky.
He is true.
He's a sneaky sneak.
He is sneaky. Oh look, enemies to stop me from doing something.
Look at these guys with knives. Rude. General rudeness. I appreciate that guy waited to attack you.
Also, that's something people have heard about that I'll talk about more in the next game, actually, is the improvements they made from the first game to the second game. And they are enormous, at least from a combat and playing perspective. That some people may not have noticed because they played Batman less brutally than I do. Alright, we're hacking.
Hacking.
So for the longest time, I actually never realized there was a time limit to those. I think I got through most of the game before I actually went explode, and I'm like, what the hell? What did I do wrong? I was hacking, and then I found out that there indeed was a time limit attached to them.
So I'm your first, aren't I, Toots? And you know what they say, you never forget your first time. I'll try to make it memorable for you.
Oh,
That guy freaks me out. Me too.
Harley and Joker.
Yep. Sitting in a tree.
I don't know about the K-I-S-S-I-N-G.
I was going to think with an F.
I don't know. I mean, we talked about this a little bit, but
Yeah.
I think of Joker as kind of asexual.
He's bat-sexual.
He's bat-sexual, yes. What he gets off on is Bruce punching him.
There was actually at one point a comic out there where it was like, just once, Jay, do I not have to wear the suit to bed? And it was Harley like holding a Batman outfit.
Yep. No, it's the dude's obsessed.
Yeah.
And because this is America and we like to make everything about sex.
Well, sex sells, and the channel obviously needs more of it.
It's true.
You're here for first, guys. We're going porn.
Well, as long as it's not pants on sex from that horrible motorcycle game.
Hey, we do not talk about Ride to Hell. It never happened.
Oh,
So, a little fun detail for you. There is indeed the meat that they feed to Killer Croc.
nailed it.
Yep. Really working that whole terrifying vibe of Killer Croc.
He's scary, man.
Indeed he is. Indeed he is.
We love Waylon, though.
Shut up! I'm scared of you, Cash. Not your sense.
I just enjoy someone having to paint that on the wall because Killer Croc is down here.
Too late, Batman! One step closer, and this goes into the water. The cave will fit your deepest, darkest mess, and you will never reach precious venom roots.
Don't do it, Crane.
Favorite moment in 5, 4. A shortcoming of the game. The drop drugs are not there. But so, and what I love about this one is if you weren't paying attention in that cutscene, it gives you the here's how you have to fight Croc, because we're not going to explain until you die 4 or 5 times later moment. And I love when games do that, where it's the, oh, if you weren't paying attention, sucks to be you, man. And I just love Killer Croc.
You do love Killer Croc.
I do
I've
love
noticed
Killer
that.
Croc.
His lair to collect the plant spores. He's in some kind of old sewer network. Send me the schematics. It's like a maze down here.
There's nothing on record. Bruce, are you sure about this? Sounds like a suicide mission.
I've got no choice. I've tuned
It is!
to detect the spores required to make the antivenom. It'll lead me straight to them.
What about Croc?
Croc's just an animal. We'll just need traps and the right bait. Be fine. I'll contact you when I'm done.
Ah. So Bats is showing you what you need to do, technically.
But we'll also send sound waves through the water.
To a certain extent.
Croc, I'll need to move as slowly as possible.
So fun fact, girls and boys, if you're crouched, it's really hard for Croc to detect you because you can't move all that fast.
There you go.
And this probably makes for great TV, but so we'll talk more about Croc. We've already touched on him a bunch because he has shown up a couple times by now.
Yes. Well, I think one of the interesting things about Croc is the, like, southern element.
Yeah, and it seems to change. And also it seems to change how Croc-ish he is. Like, the more Louisiana he seems to get, the more like a giant human crocodile he seems to become in lore. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, but I think the other thing that's sort of interesting is the location of Gotham itself is sort of flexible
Yeah,
within the
it's like
DC universe.
Springfield that way. We talked about that actually a long time ago, was that the fact that we don't agree where Gotham really is.
Yeah, but I think most people do not put it in the deep south.
No.
So the dynamics of, you know, how this southern fried boy who is covered in scales ended up in Gotham to bother Batman is a very interesting thing.
I'm always a fan of the circus freak show story that they can't do so much nowadays because the concept of a touring circus with freak shows doesn't exist the way it used to.
God, thank God.
You can go into Coney Island still. I actually worked up in Canada with a guy who, because there's still a thing up in Canada.
Oh,
apparently.
hey, friend.
It didn't work. The hell game?
Oh, death and
Well,
pain.
so that's what happens when Croc gets you. We're going to get a nice little video now.
Feasting on your bones.
Your barang primed and ready for a surprise attack.
Yeah. So normally what you're supposed to be able to do is just wing it at him there. I guess I have to aim. Yeah, I do have to aim. But for what's worth, this is also my favorite version of Killer Croc. He's just Hulk-like.
He's very Hulk-like. He's incredibly... Like, he does not look like a person
No, and
in any way, shape, or form.
and we're skulking, and we're skulking. Eventually he will pop up behind me and I probably will die because I'm really bad at cornering in this game, as silly as that may sound.
Mutated plant root.
How do I get this again? Is that a back claw situation? What do you want bed say? Throw in, chop it down situation. Yep.
Delicious
Everything in
spore.
this game can be solved by throwing knives at it.
These spores don't contain it. You need to find more.
What do you want, Batman?
It's a fetch quest.
Yeah.
It's a fetch quest.
So, as much as I do love Killer Croc, I hate fetch quests.
Fetching.
But I do love the kind of tension this scene brings with the system you have with Killer Croc. Back in the water, Croc. I think at one point, I'm not going to do it now because it will probably result in me dying. I got super ballsy and just ran every part of this because I got really like hitting Croc whenever he popped out of the water. Like, a little too good at it, if that makes any sense. So it was, again, this... Yeah, I don't care about you, Killer Croc. I'm not too worried about you getting me. And there he is.
Oh god, he's behind you.
Knew he was coming.
He makes a lot of noise, which I
He does
appreciate.
make a great noise when he pops out. Nope, wrong direction.
I hear croc noises.
He just does that, though, too.
I have to say, one of the things that we've talked a little bit about how detective mode looks like a little bit like the Daredevil movie.
Yeah, we got it. And I talked about how I wind up using it so much in this game, because at least in this one, it's almost easy mode to track stuff through walls and stuff like that, that I missed out on seeing some of these beautiful environments.
I was going to say, because it's kind of beautifully creepy in detective mode, even more than...
Let's see if I can do this one without Yeah, the spore still counts without it, so I'm fine. Do I go across or do I go left? Yep, I go across.
I was going to say, water is scary in video games.
Well, they nail creepy water in this one, too, especially because of how the Killer Croc system works. I'm a fan of it. Like I said,
it kind of reminds me of my favorite scary movie about monsters, Anaconda.
Where is he? Where is he? There he is. I was gonna say, I think I got him this then. But I wouldn't put it past this game to flat out glitch out. Where's them spores?
Your flesh will tear.
Oh, thank you, Killer Croc, for that sound of encouragement.
I will admit, folks, this would not work well with my playstyle, and I remember really hating this fight.
Oh, this is both simultaneously one of my least favorite points of this game because fetch quest, and also simultaneously one of my favorite because Killer Croc and oh my god, they nailed him. Like, there's this wonderful, absolutely perfect sense of complete powerlessness that should only exist in games when you're fighting enemies like Killer Croc. And if it hadn't been so powerless feeling, I've been like, man, this is the worst version of Killer Croc ever.
Well, because yeah, I think that's the thing about him is that, again, avoiding spoilers,
Yeah.
he changes a little bit as we go through the game, as go through the series of games, the Arkham games.
Yeah, he's coming from that side.
Sweetie.
Go down.
I was gonna say the score is such an important part of this game.
Oh,
it's so important.
From a design perspective and just making it all work across the board, I know of very few games that nail all aspects of design as well as this Batman game does.
I was gonna say we've talked a bunch about Croc because we both love him.
Yeah, for different reasons.
But I think the interesting thing, and when we
That's the last set of spores.
the weird sort of Marvel equivalent of Croc is the lizard.
And he's not the lizard, as we've touched on
Yeah.
several occasions.
But I do find it interesting that they sort of wanted to make sure that these guys came from areas where crocodiles and lizard and alligators are a thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So you may have noticed shit just got real.
Run, guys, run!
Hungry Batman.
Bat is on the menu.
Bat's back on the menu, boys!
What's that from again?
Lord of the Rings. I make a lot of Lord of the Rings references.
It's okay. They're kind of oddly appropriate in this one. I'll allow them.
Nailed it. I should probably... I haven't sang for you guys in a while. Did you miss that?
We'll do that in a Hey Let's Play. Oh, I forgot the double. You can hit him twice with it. For added douchebaggeriness, I guess.
Okay, Batman is not a douchebag. If
Yeah,
anything, he is a jerkwad. There are massive differences. Douchebags are not useful. Jerkwads, however, are wads from jerks. So they could have been useful, but they wasted their potential.
I've never actually heard someone explain one before.
Oh, I get it. You've activated a sonar beacon down there. Clever.
Oracle, I'm getting out of here.
What about Croc?
He won't be a problem.
Tell that to Croc. Tell it to him in his face that he's not going to be a problem.
Run, you guys!
I'd love to see someone like in high school. You ain't shit, Croc.
Oh, God. Nope, slide!
I hope he's about to bust through there. Am I supposed to slide through there?
Slide!
Yeah, I can't do that in this game.
You sure?
Almost positive. I don't seem to be able to. Maybe I have to go back? Try sliding. I have to hold X at the same time, don't I?
I think, yeah. I don't know, guys. This is what happens when you replay these games. Is that you're like, wait, why doesn't my grapnel gun work? And then you're like, oh, I don't have that.
Yeah.
Why did I wander into a gunfight?
And if you're me, you honestly don't remember anymore. Yeah, I think I'm going the right way now. Except not, maybe. Nope, except not.
If the mechanics were different, that would not have ended well.
No, it would not have.
Thank you, slightly bad game mechanic. Oh my god.
You didn't know about that?
Oh my god. I did not know about that. I was
Yeah,
not
it's
prepared.
not great.
I was not prepared, you guys.
Oh, I'm going the right way again. Whoops! That was almost real bad. I will give the game points for Batman was like, yep, just had to shrug that one off.
Your flesh will tear.
Flesh tears. Waylon.
Yeah, but Batman's especially. It's extra terrible. Sorry, I wish there was more to say. We've kind of covered Killer Croc to the extent, and I'm stuck concentrating because this is not, well, not easy. It's definitely not it's not the easiest thing in the game. I mean, it's not the hardest thing in the game. It's definitely not the easiest, though, either.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things we could talk about with Croc, though, is that there is sort of a battle between the man and the the animal.
We've talked about that some, I think.
Yeah.
But not really in detail yet.
Which is interesting because I don't think, as far as I can remember, I don't think they've ever done Man-Bat. Do you remember Man-Bat?
Man-Bat does not show up in the games, to my knowledge. There's references to him, and he's the one everyone always is like, wouldn't it be cool if Man-Bat showed up? And he never does, because I can't imagine how you do a fight against him effectively.
Well, I imagine, again, we try really hard not to spoil, but flying enemies have their own specific mechanics that we can work with. But for those of you who don't know who Man-Bat is, he is an anagram of Batman.
Literally, it's the two words reversed.
Yes. But he is a guy who turned into a bat. So they had this moment where they were like, we could call him Batman and get really confused, or call him Man-Bat. And they went with Man-Bat.
And we thank them for it.
We thank them for it.
Man-Bat's another one of my... I'm not sure why I love them so much, dumb enemies.
Well, he is very, like, we were talking about, like, gimmick. And he is definitely of that, like, mad science era gimmick thing. And I think, like, the reason that I keep bringing up the lizard when talking about Croc is that Croc, there's a real class difference between the lizard and Croc. You know, Kurt Connors has a PhD.
Yeah.
He's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Croc was born this way.
Yeah.
He on the right track, baby. He was born this way.
You've made that joke now twice about Croc.
But if you guys don't remember it, I'm telling you right now. So it's important. Man-Bat!
Hold off on Man-Bat.
My My caves will be your tomb. I will find you!
Exactly.
Nah, you won't. I mean, eventually, yeah.
You will.